Hey guys, PLV here and welcome back on my channel. So you want to learn music production but you don't know where to start? I also wanted to just a few months ago, so in this video I will tell you exactly how I got started in 10 steps so that you can learn as well. I recently started my music journey and in this channel I am sharing and documenting everything with you. I will show you everything that I do to learn and progress daily, which resources I use, and I will share everything that I learn along the road so that you can learn with me at the same time. Sounds like a good deal? Then don't hesitate to join the adventure and let's get started. So first and most important, you have to commit time to put aside on this new hobby and set yourself with some goals. At the end of the day, if you don't put time aside to practice and learn, it's not gonna appear magically, you're gonna have to work for it. The best way to do this is to set some easy and realistic goals, like 30 minutes every day, but something that you know you can hold over a long period of time so that after a while it becomes a habit and something that you are really looking forward to. For setting goals, I'll take my example. My goal this year is to create one song per month, so having 12 at the end of the year, exploring different genres every month. But it can be anything. Setting goals will motivate you to achieve them and will give you a reason to get to work. Though it has to be something that you really want deep down and that will be rewarding for you. Making my own song was something that I really wanted deep down for a long time. And after doing my first song, I felt so proud, I was hooked. So before starting, make sure that you really want to take some time every week or every day towards this new hobby and set some goals. Now that the tough talk is over, let's talk about the gear that you're going to need. There is a lot of material when it comes to music production, but when you just want to get started, you honestly don't need that much. The most important one is going to be a DAW, a digital audio workstation. It is where you are going to bring life to your music and assemble everything together. You have a lot of choice, but the main popular ones are Logic Pro, FL Studio, and Ableton. Logic Pro and Ableton both have a 90-day free trial version, so I would recommend to start with one of these so that you can try it out and see which one you prefer and also see if you want to continue with music production before investing in one. On a side note, Logic Pro is only for mic users. But otherwise you have lots of free options like GarageBand or LMMS or Pro Tools. You can find a lot of options. Then you are going to need some headphones or monitors, but something to listen to the sound properly. For now, I only have headphones and that is way enough to start. But monitors are definitely the next thing I'm gonna buy. A MIDI keyboard or piano is also quite useful, but to start I wouldn't worry too much about it as it is not necessary. By fundamentals, I mean music theory and playing an instrument. The first thing I did before actually starting to make music in the DAW is to learn the basics of music theory. But don't worry, nothing too boring or too in-depth, just the basics. I also had started to play piano since a couple of years, but not really very serious or consistent about it. So this time I really was consistent and serious about it, meaning that for a couple of months I was playing piano every single day, and every morning I was watching a few videos on Tone Gym about the basics of music theory. They have a whole course to cover the basics, and honestly it was really helpful. It is a bunch of small videos, like from 5 to 10 minutes, and it's very well explained in simple terms. I was also doing some ear training, but this is just because I was interested in it. It's definitely not necessary, I just wanted to mention it as I find that it really helped me a lot. Learning the fundamentals is really helpful and lets you be more creative in my opinion, as you understand more how a song works and how a song is made. It's also not something that you have to do before starting to actually make music. It just happened this way for me and I just wanted to mention it, but you can definitely do it at the same time, it's totally fine. But yeah, I would really recommend at least knowing the basics. After this, I also watched a few tutorials on learning the basics of the DAW I had chosen, FL Studio in my case, so that I could learn how to navigate the interface, the shortcuts, or how to use the DAW. Then it was time for me to actually make some music. So there I was, ready to make music, but I had no idea where to start. So I figured that I should watch someone making a song from start to finish in front of me. The advantage with this type of tutorial is that it will give you a good overview on how to make a song from start to finish and what are the steps to make a song. I know everyone has their own workflow and their own ways of doing things, but it is a great starting point and you can use it as a step-by-step tutorial to make your own song. This is what I did for my very first song, Better Now. I wanted to make something like in the genre of tropical house because that's what I was feeling like making at the time. So I just researched one on YouTube, found one, and watched it. It probably took me a good week to watch it and do it because I was stopping the video at every part so that I could also do my first song at the same time. Meaning that every time he was doing one thing, I was stopping the video, doing it, and then continuing the video. Like for example, after he was done making his chords, I was stopping the video, making my own chords, and then continue watching the video. If you do this with a few and different music genre, it will give you a good overview of the overall process of making a song, and after a few you should feel confident on making your own song. So I know there are a lot of YouTube videos or free resources on the internet that you can watch, but you can quickly feel lost or overwhelmed when you don't know really in which direction you should go or which tutorial you should watch. And that is where paid courses are a great option, as it will probably skyrocket your skills in a way that free YouTube videos probably can't. It is definitely doable, but it requires a lot of self-discipline and motivation, especially at the beginning. So I'm just saying that it's an option that is out there for you, and probably easier as well. That is what I did with the monthly class with Kaigo during the month of January, and I am really happy that I did. It skyrocketed my skills, and I probably learned stuff that would have probably taken me a year to learn on my own. As I was saying previously, there are a lot of free resources on the internet and you should use them. To keep learning, almost every single day I watch one tutorial about one specific subject. For example, today's tutorial was about saturation. If while you're watching a tutorial you don't understand a specific term like multiband compressor or distortion, just note it on the side and then the next day watch a tutorial about it. I would also recommend to take some notes on the side so that you can come back to it later. Another useful type of resource is PDFs. There are a lot of websites giving them for free about a lot of subjects on music production, like mastering, mixing, and this is another great way to learn. By the way, I made a Google Drive folder where I gathered all the PDFs that I found over the month, so if you want access to it, just let me know in the comments and I'll give you the access. Remaking a song you like or making a cover of it is probably one of the best ways to learn. By doing so, you will learn how the artists are building their songs, you will analyze it, you'll try to find which sounds they used, or how they transition from one part to another, or how the arrangement of a song can change depending on the music genre. Someone once told me that before inventing and creating your own style, you have to be good at recreating, and I couldn't agree more. I personally haven't done one yet, but it is on my list to do in the next few months. Taking some time to explore the sounds in your DAW is a great way to learn which sounds are available to you, and it is really important. Sometimes it can spark inspiration if you find a sound that you like, or you can also save them in your own library for later. Every week I take about 1 hour to go through all the sounds and presets that are in my DAW, and I save the ones that I like so that I can use them in my future songs. It helps you save time when you are actually producing music, and it helps you define your own style and come up with that key sound signature that everyone will recognize when they hear your song. There are also a lot of sample packs available online. Sample packs are a library of sounds that you can use in your own songs. It can include pretty much everything, like loops or MIDI chord progressions or kicks, drums, effects, like pretty much everything. You might happen to find a cool synth sound or a cool guitar loop that might spark inspiration, and you can start a song from there. This is how I started the song that I'm currently working on. I was going through some samples and I found this cool guitar loop. I got inspired and I turned it into this. So I'm sorry for that one, but at the end of the day, the best way to learn is to actually do. What I'm currently doing is I start a song, and if I don't know how to do that one thing, or if I want to do that particular effect, I just look it up online and learn how to do it, and then do it in my song, and then continue. This way, you keep practicing by actually producing a song, and you learn what you need to as you go. That reminds me of an interview that I saw with Ed Sheeran, where he talks about the fact that you are going to write bad songs, and you have to write 1,000 if you need, but you have to write 1,000 bad songs before you're actually able to make great songs. I think he calls it the 10,000 hours rule, but you see my point. Also, I would recommend to not get tied up into one particular music genre just yet. Explore a little bit, figure out what you like to make and what fits your style. In my case, I started with tropical house because the timing with the Kaigos class was perfect, and that was my favorite music genre at the moment, but now I'm looking into other music genre like future bass. After this, I will probably make a cover or a pop song. But take the time to explore and figure out what you want to make. So if my family and friends are seeing this, they will have a good laugh because I am the least patient person in this world. But it is true, music takes time. In fact, mastering any skills takes time. But as long as you continue to learn every single day, you're doing fine. It is by doing a little bit every single day over a long period of time that you can achieve goals. So just be consistent and you'll get there. Also, don't compare yourself to anyone else because we all have our own journey and pace. Alright, that is it for me. All of those steps and tips are pretty much what I did to get started and what I still am currently doing every single day to continue learning music production. I would say that it has worked really well for me. I can see that I made some really good progress and quick over the past few months, so those steps really works. I hope this video helped you get a better idea of how to start learning music production. If you need anything else or have any more questions, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. I will reply with pleasure. Also, don't hesitate to like or comment the video. Let me know if you like that type of video. It's always very encouraging me and it motivates me to continue. On that note, no pun intended, do I keep it? Keep learning and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
We're talking about summer nights when all our days are bright and all our dreams can come true. We're talking about summer highs and all our hearts